What are you making of the activity we're seeing on the market at the moment?
Well, I think what we're seeing at the moment is a lot of stagnation in the last few weeks, and I believe it will continue to be a little more like that over the next few days until we start seeing some of the financial results coming out from the banks. I believe many of the people in the market, most investors, are holding on to their funds for now. In anticipation of what's going to happen over the next few days when the results start coming out.
Well, some news this week has been that while interest rates have been left unchanged at 6%, we've had the SBA cut its deposit rate to try and stimulate lending again. We were saying yesterday, though, that we're sitting with the country, yes, sitting with a loan to GDP ratio of about 20%, but with focus still on asset quality and balance sheet repair. How aggressively do you see banks actually going down this path of increasing their loan exposure?
That's a good question. The fact is that there are quite a few liquid banks out there, so I don't necessarily think that reducing the interest rates is going to do that much good, to be honest. I think many banks are conscious of the risk element of lending in this market at the moment, and we're talking regarding the economy, how far down the recession are we really, and also politically, what's going to happen in the country over the next few weeks. So there are a lot of questions that need to be answered before banks feel safe to actually increase their lending in whether to each other or to the public at large.
To what extent, Olusengun, will this boil down to consolidation within the sector where capital adequacy has been compromised, that needs to happen soon?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that, sorry.
Just to what extent does it boil down to actual consolidation in the sector so that a balance or capital adequacy can be repaired once more?
I think to be honest with you, it's gonna take a while. Many fingers were burnt in the last 18 months or so. People are still very conscious of the risk of lending. Still very conscious of risk of lending to other institutions, also larger investment institutions. And I believe that we're going to have to see a lot of improvement and confidence back in the regulatory aspect as well as from the economy at large before things start to make proper progress, shall I say.
All of that having been said, we've got many rather, expecting more of the kind of up and down days that we've seen on the banking sector over the last couple of weeks. How are you playing that space at the moment, given that that is the context within which you're operating?
Basically, again, people are very much, we're all sort of watching and waiting at the moment, really. Want to see what the results are, the results that come out are like. As you know, it's the first time that everyone had the same year end, and want to see how things pan out when the results start coming out. That will very much determine how quickly the banking sector itself starts to improve in terms of what's going in terms of investments in that particular sector, and of course the banking sector tends to determine how the rest of the other sectors on the stock market perform as well.
So adopting a wait and see approach for now. There's also been a pledge, though, of a $3.3 billion facility to help revive the industrial sector in the country. What have you made of that move?
Obviously, it's a good move, but there have been many good moves that we've witnessed in Nigeria in the last few years. But I believe the important element is the implementation of it, and also there are wider issues at stake here. You can lend as much money in the sector as you want, but if certain infrastructure hasn't been sorted out, such as power, electricity, roads networks, consistency in government policy. If those things aren't sorted out properly, you'll continue to have the same problems in that particular sector. So just as important as making funds available is actually making sure policies and the infrastructure is sorted out in the country.